Hi there, my name is Crystal Lynn Bell, and I am a badass butterfly, spiritual life coach, and heart-centered entrepreneur. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about why it's so darn hard to heal your emotions and break free from the prison of unworthiness. If you're like me, you've been trying, you've been working on it, but those issues of unworthiness are still there. Don't worry, I've got some solutions for you. I'm also going to give you the opportunity to enroll in my Healing the Healers Masterclass absolutely free. So please subscribe to my YouTube or SoundCloud channel and be sure to hit the little bell so you'll get notified when I release new videos. Okay? Each week I'll be delivering you business tools that are designed especially for heart-centered entrepreneurs. What makes them special? Well, as heart-centered entrepreneurs, we tend to think with our hearts and less so with our minds. So I'm going to teach you to use your intuition to guide you in making decisions for your business and for your life. And because I really need you to thrive and live your biggest, most badass dreams, I'm going to give you lots of excellent business tools that you can use to grow your practice now. So you will find a link to the blog post that I've written this week in the video description, and you'll also find a link to my Healing the Healers class in the video description. So just go ahead and sign up for free, and then you can come back here and get your inspiration, all right? In the meantime, I'm gonna dive into what I wanna talk to you about today. So I'm spiritual, all right? You are too. I believe that what we experience in this three-dimensional world is a direct reflection of our mindset and our focus, as well as our emotional balance. So a mindset that is solutions-oriented and positively focused on its goals is more easily able to deal with any obstacles or challenges that arise as it pursues its goals. So an attitude that is emotionally balanced does not shy away from negative emotions, and neither does it waste its time voraciously pursuing positive emotions or spiritual highs. A soul that holds its shit together mentally and emotionally is most likely to consistently experience a successful, happy, healthy, three-dimensional life, okay? I want to help you hold it together mentally and emotionally. So my Healing the Healers Masterclass is really designed to do that. So in this program, I'm going to take you on a 3-week journey where we are going to learn shadow work and we're going to work on issues of unworthiness. Each week, we're going to take some new perspectives on unworthiness, and I'm going to teach you some really important shadow work techniques that you can use to begin transforming your life in the now. And for me, they work beautifully. This is exactly how this is how I've developed myself spiritually. This is how I broke free from the prison of unworthiness. These tools helped me know myself and helped me deal with myself, okay? So please go ahead and sign up for that class. It's going to be definitely transformational, and it's got live sessions, so you and I are going to be able to meet, and that is really exciting. I love that. So if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I have built my entire career on being emotionally vulnerable with my readers and my clients, right? So y'all have seen me reach and struggle and fall as I've learned to walk. And you've been very supportive with my every step. You've also cheered me on when I've succeeded. And I'm really, really appreciative of our relationship. And most of you all in my loyal kaleidoscope, which is a group of butterflies, or you can call it a tribe or a squad or a posse, most of y'all are healers. Whether you do it as a job or not, or whether you get paid or not, most of the people who are watching my videos are healers. And you all get downloads about situations, and you walk with synchronicities, and you're conscientious in your relationships, and you're doing your best to be of service to spirit as much as you can, right? And like most healers, you suffer from your own wounds. And I'm sure you've heard of the term wounded healer. Well, I'm really amazed by this phrase because in my mind, it invokes a really beautiful image. And what comes to me is the image of an old man slowly ambling along an ancient tree-lined road. And it's early summer, it's the morning, and he's making a long journey to the next village. And he carries on his person these little pouches of notions and potions and herbs, and he's got tonics and elixirs, he's got animal bones and dice and medicine and energized crystals, vials of magic, jars of balms. He's just a magical old dude. And as he's walking, he's, got his staff, and he's slowly making his way to his destination. And as he's making his way there, you can see his wisdom, and he's taking his time. He's not rushing. He's going at his own pace. The road is long, but he's really walked it. He's walked it before, right? And the thing is, he's a little bit hobbled, right? So you might notice that he's limping, and the original wound came to him in his early youth. And even with all his knowledge and his power to shift energy and perform healings for everyone else, he still couldn't fully heal from that accident, okay? And even though he's nourished himself and nursed himself according to the law, the wound has persisted even into his maturity. And that, in my imagination, is what a wounded healer is. Very often in my work, my students and clients will say to me the exact same thing. Crystal Lynn, why is this coming up for me again? I've already healed this. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, I sat with one of my very beautiful, very intelligent, and very spiritual students, and she said, I already know what this is. I've done this before. Why am I going through it again? Why am I having this again? I've already done it, right? And yet, as much healing as we've all done, the emotional and even the physical wounds, the aches and the pains still persist. And while I think it's highly unlikely or even necessary that, we clear ourselves completely of emotional woundings over the course of our lifetimes, I just don't think it's necessary. I do believe that the wounded healer is one of the world's most kind of powerful archetypes. So why is it so darn hard to heal this wounded healer? Why can't we get it? Well, and I'm suffering from it. I'm giggling because I suffer, and I know what my wounds are, and they are at the forefront of my thoughts right now. And so I'm really giggling because just last night, I sat in prayer. Well, actually, it was this morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, I woke up, and I sat up in bed. I'm like, gosh darn it, I must do something about this thing. I'm not going to share with you what it is because I would like to get through this video. And if I go into what that issue is, we will be here for hours, okay? But I do want you to know that this is a serious thing. You're not the only person who goes through it. And I think one of the other things, like when my client brought it up yesterday, she wants to be a spiritual life coach like me. And she's like, Crystalline, you have your shit together. And I'm saying, no, and neither do I want you to think I have my shit together. What I have together is my willingness to do shadow work, my willingness to listen to myself, and my willingness to be patient as I go through the process. I don't look for outcomes when I'm doing emotional work for myself. I focus on being present and listening to intuition and learning my lessons in the way that my soul believes that I should learn my lessons. So what I want for you, and as I told my student yesterday, I want you to love yourself unconditionally and allow yourself to develop in your own time. You're a rose that's blossoming over the course of the next 100 years. We can't rush that rose. She's blossoming in her own time. Enjoy it. Enjoy the process of being a rose. And this is what I'm practicing right now, which is why I have more success now than I ever have. It's not because, I've gotten my stuff together and I'm doing it right. I've ascended, I'm woke. I'm not woke, okay? I'm still human up in here, living my life. But the thing that's maybe different between you and I is that I'm willing to blossom in a slow way, okay? Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's slower, but either way, I'm willing to stick with the blossoming process. And so I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. So I want to get back into this idea of the wounded healer. And one of my most favorite stories is that of the Greek Titan Chiron. Chiron was born a centaur, which is a race of mystical beings notorious for being loud, raucous, drunken beasts, okay? Half man, half beasts. But Chiron was adopted and raised by Apollo. My dog is named Apollo. He's inside today because he'd be out here tearing up the garden, and I don't want him doing that. But Apollo is the sun god. He's the Greek god of the sun, and he is very authoritative and elegant. And so Chiron, when he was a baby, was abandoned by both his mother and his father. Wait, okay, let me tell you a little bit about Chiron as I go on. All right, Chiron's mom was I believe she was a mortal. She was mortal, so she was a human, and she was raped by Zeus. Okay, so Chiron was born of rape, and he's half man, half horse. Okay, that's a centaur. So he came out as a centaur. So here Rhea is. I think her name is Rhea. Please forgive me if I'm wrong. But here she is, raped, then she's given birth to what she perceives as a monster, okay? So she takes, oh God. Okay, so sorry, I need to tell you more story, but I'll tell you that in a different thing, but other things are coming up to me. So Rhea takes her son and abandons him in Mount Pelion, which is a mountainous area of Greece. And that is where the centaurs are known to roam. Well, anyway, the sun god, Apollo, was there, and he saw this baby and was like, I'll take him, you're cool. He had a good vibe about him, so he took him. And it totally makes sense. It makes perfectly good sense. I love this story, and I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm getting a little bit distracted, so I'm going to get myself back on track, okay? Anyway, so Apollo he's the sun god, so he's elegant, he's authoritative, and so he finds this little baby centaur, and he's like, look, I'm gonna raise you up. So he taught him poetry, archery, music, and he taught him prophecy as well as healing. So Chiron is this wild beast, and he's learned, though, he's been trained, the beastliness has been trained out of him by authority and elegance, okay? So, so Chiron really excelled in his studies, and he became really highly appreciated amongst the other gods, and he became known as the healer of gods. Chiron became friends with Heracles, or Hercules, who is adventurous and strong and the son of Zeus, the god of gods. One evening, while these guys were at dinner, there were a bunch of centaurs who came up and began attacking their party. Hercules had been toting around these arrows that had been treated with hydra blood, which is basically a lethal poison. And Hercules, being nearsighted, I'm just kidding, he was drunk, okay, shot Chiron in the thigh. And so instead of Chiron dying from the hydra blood like a normal human would, the wound festered and it basically maimed him, dooming him to live each day of his life in excruciating pain. So I guess the story would be that Chiron tried to heal himself, but he basically couldn't, And eventually Chiron couldn't take the pain anymore, and so he wanted to kill himself. Now, he's a titan. He can't just go killing himself. So what he did was he went to Zeus, who is actually his stepbrother or half-brother, and remember also the father of Hercules and the king of gods. And he requested to switch places with Prometheus, who was being punished for defying Zeus. Prometheus, I think Prometheus invented humans, and Zeus was like, that is not okay. And then Prometheus kept stealing stuff from the gods and giving it to humans. Like he stole fire from the gods and gave it to humans, and Zeus was like, don't do that. Okay, look, you are now on punishment. You are gonna have your liver eaten every day you're gonna have your liver eaten every day for the rest of your life by an eagle. So he's gonna come every day, he's gonna eat your liver's gonna grow back, and then he's gonna come back the next day and eat it again, okay? So, so Chiron said, look, I'm gonna give up my life for Prometheus if you'll let me. And so I guess Prometheus was probably tired of being up there, and Zeus was kind of like, okay, this is getting boring, and we should probably let the eagle go. And so Chiron and Prometheus switched places, and then Chiron died at the hands of the eagle, okay? So I'm so sorry that my Greek storytelling, my Greek mythology storytelling is not all that great. You learn things and then you lose them, and you learn them, then you lose them. So if it's off, I apologize, okay? My point though, and I think you get the point is that this healer couldn't escape the pain that he was in. He had to basically die in order to escape his pain. And Chiron died, and then he became the constellation Sagittarius, or he became Chiron, the planet mystery thing that is also known as Chiron, okay, and helps us heal. So the question that, we have to kind of ask ourselves is like, why? Why is it that it's so hard for us to heal as healers, okay? I had to finally have a hysterectomy after having 3 myomectomies, right? Uterine fibroids, looking like I'm 9 months pregnant. I really tried all the natural remedies. I tried fasting, I did herbs, and I went around the world getting worked on by healers in Bali and India and Cambodia. Finally, I'm like, okay, Western medicine, just take it out. I couldn't take it anymore, right? So as much as I really appreciate the spiritual healing process, sometimes you just have to, go for Western medicine, and that's okay. I love Western medicine. I very much appreciate it. The thing is, nobody, no Western medicine, no doctor, no medicine, no science can help us with feelings of unworthiness, all right? Now, at the root cause of my personal issues, and this is what I'm also going to be talking about in my Healing the Healers class, unworthiness is a real thing, okay? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not some little chick hiding in her room because she has low self-esteem. I make videos, I have a blog, I travel around the world, I'm social, I have a life, right? It's just that unworthiness comes in and it narrows and limits my life and my choices. It limits my mindset. It doesn't let me thrive myself and make the biggest, most badass, bold choices that I know is in my realm of potential, but like I can't just get there, and it's because of the unworthiness. Personally, I peel it back layer by layer. Each year I find myself becoming more confident, more powerful, more badass. But it's because I'm doing the work that I'm getting there. Even in times of trouble and challenge, I'm still thriving, and I find that sense of peace that helps me make really good decisions, that puts me in the right place at the right time. All right. Now, unworthiness, though, is what I'm talking about. So I want to share with you, as I said at the beginning of this video, part of my thing is to share my vulnerability, and I want to share that with you. My unworthiness issues are very evident as I move forward very powerfully in my business. And as I reach for the very first time from my 6-figure income towards 7 figures, I'm made very aware of my limiting beliefs, negative mindsets, and disempowered emotions, right? And the behaviors that won't let me think or act or do beyond a limitation of my capabilities, right? Things that, for me, I should be able to very powerfully, like I can see something big, but how am I going to get there? And feelings of I can't, and confusion, mental blocks, like I just, it's blockages, and these are all illusions that come from a mindset of unworthiness. So unworthiness, inadequacy, small thinking, limited capabilities, undeserving, right? So as I push out of my comfort zone into more magnificence, I notice that I have these tapes playing over and over in my head, and they started when I was young, but they are now coming into like my adult life, or they are in my adult life. And these things might be something to the effect of, just the facts that people say, like, oh, you're going to be a spiritual life coach. Most spiritual life coaches, do it as a part-time gig, and they make just about $30,000 a year, maybe $40,000 a year. Why do you think you should be able to be a 6-figure coach where all the other coaches are only making 30 to 40,000? And why do you think that, you've gotten lucky? You should just be happy and, just stay with your 6 figures and feel like you've gotten lucky. Why do you have to reach for 7 figures? There are these voices in my head that are saying this shit. I also have a voice in my head that says, basically, if I'm going to make $1 million, I'm probably going to have to steal or rob or, manipulate people in some kind of a way. The other thing that my voices say is that, ooh, this is one I'm getting so often. I'm in Northern California right now, and I found my dog in Greece. I'm living in Italy. Technically, I live in Italy. I have a residency permit to live in Italy. And up until just this month, my rent has been paid. I just gave up my apartment because I've made the decision that I'm going to stay here. So, when people are new and they're like, oh, so what do you do? Where do you live? You live around here? I'm like, yeah, I have an Airbnb here. Oh, an Airbnb, so where do you live? I'm like, oh, well, I live in Florence. Like, oh, you live in Florence, Italy? How is it that you're able to live in Florence, Italy? You found your dog so you went to Greece and you found your dog and you shipped him to California? I'm like, well, no, I didn't ship him to California. We were living in Croatia and then we moved to Italy and then we thought we'd come back here to California and spend, the winter in California, but then COVID hit and all the flights canceled and so blah, blah, blah. Giving them that story and they're kind of like, there's always this sense of, oh, well, oh, wow, like it doesn't happen that often before. So my mind, it makes me uncomfortable. Their behavior and the way they look at me makes me really, really uncomfortable. And so my success makes other people uncomfortable because, this is how I'm interpreting it. They're wondering, how do you have that much money? And they ask me, like, what do you do for work? Oh, what's your job? And I say, and I find myself shrinking and wanting to say, well, yeah, I work for myself. Yeah, and then I'll say I'll bring my dog, bring my dog to the dog park for 2 hours every day. And yeah, I do all these things and they're kind of like, you do this stuff for yourself, and like it feels like I have freedom and as I say, I have time, wealth, and I have financial freedom. This is my thing. And there is a part of me that is ashamed of that. Like, I don't do well. I'm uncomfortable with sharing that with people, And yet, why should I be ashamed of having financial freedom and time, wealth? I did that for myself, regardless of whether I did it for myself or whether somebody gave it to me. What if I married wealthy? Why should I be ashamed of what I have, But these are the tapes in my head. Other people scrimp and save for years before they travel the world and they buy their own homes. Why do I think I can live anywhere in the world and then just show up there and plop down cash and buy a house, right? And the mindset, again, that kind of audacity is obscene, right? So there's that feeling of it's embarrassing to have so much. And, I make people insecure because I have so much freedom and so much time. And I mirror their desires and I accentuate what they don't have. And no one will like me if I'm successful. These are the things in my head. I should be more humble in my desires. Maybe I should slow down and do it the way I see my peers doing it. It's really important that I fit in. Like, I'm doing something wrong, I have another fear that says that my success is going to backfire and then I'm going to be left to pick up all the pieces, eating humble pie all by myself because I've driven away all my friends. Okay? This is the issue, right? These are thoughts of unworthiness. All that stuff, all those limiting beliefs and weird mindsets in my head, okay? The thing is, you can't change your life from the same mindset that put you into those circumstances in the first place. Albert Einstein says, problems cannot be solved with the same mindset that created them. So how do you change your mindset and break free from the prison of unworthiness, right? Because I think this is what the question, the most important question is that I can ask myself, and you too. What I've noticed is that my mindset changes whenever it gets blown apart, either by hitting rock bottom, losing everything, or by finally, on my own volition, giving up the ghost and letting my old self, my old mindset, my old way of thinking, my old way of behaving, of believing, letting that part of me die completely, okay? Both of these processes are valid and powerful, but what am I going to do in the meantime while I'm waiting to get there, okay? While I'm waiting for either to hit rock bottom, have lost everything, which we don't want to do, but heck, if that's what has to happen in this lifetime, that's what has to happen. Or the other, where I'm waiting for me to just awaken to what's right and I'm able to do it, okay? I'm waiting for Godot if I'm waiting for me to get there, or I have to lose everything, and I'm trying to say I don't need either way. I would prefer just to do something that I can do now to heal myself, to work with myself, and to move myself to a higher, more expanded mind. That solution is shadow work. So shadow work is a deep exploration of the dark parts of your mind. Carl Jung defined the shadow as that thing which we consciously think we are not. On a conscious level, we want to think that we are worthy, deserving beings who are safe and free to become whatever it is we desire. On a subconscious level, however, things can be really, really different. Below the level of our conscious mind, we all hold beliefs, attitudes, and thought patterns that don't necessarily come from an empowered place. Old emotional wounds, mistakes, failures, things that have gone wrong in our lives can wreak havoc in our minds, turning our subconscious interior space into a jungle of fear, doubt, and anxiety. Shadow work is an emotional wellness process usually offered through a series of exercises that unites your logical, rational thinking self, like the masculine part of yourself, with the feminine, emotional, imaginative, and feeling part of yourself. So very often, challenges and hardships will drive us into the logical mind, into the 3D, right? And into the instinctive self, which is where we come up with fight or flight. This puts a giant gulf between your conscious self and your intuition. Who can be intuitive when you're in fight or flight, or when you're paralyzed with fear, or when you are wallowing, like downward spiraling into anxiety, and when you're panicking? Who can be intuitive and graceful and listening to their spirit guides? Let me tune in. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. When instinct takes over, fight or flight takes over, we can't breathe. We can't even take in enough life force energy. We swoon, some people pass out, okay? We get sick, we shut down, all right? What we need during these times is unity between all our parts. That would be the thing that would get us out, right? We need our instinct to give us energy and stamina. We need our intellect to help us make good decisions, and we need our intuition to guide us like beyond the things that we know consciously. Shadow work exercises are going to help us deal with the fight or flight instinct, which is, again, the fear and anxiety. And it's also going to help us control our emotional state in general. It gives us practical, rational insights into troubling situations so that we can gain clarity and balance, and it opens us up to guidance from beyond the 3D veil of our human experience. In other words, shadow work is going to help us effectively deal with our emotions, clear our minds, and connect to our powerful intuition. From there, the world is ours. When your mind, your emotions, and your body are balanced, you have the freedom and the presence of mind so that you can dance with whatever comes up. And this way, you can easily pursue your biggest, most badass dreams. So in my Healing the Healer program, I'm going to teach you about working with your shadow, and I'm going to give you some powerful exercises to help you transmute it. These are some of the same shadow work exercises I give to my private clients, and they're the ones I use personally to manage my own shadow. In the learning sessions, I'm going to help you manage your triggers. You'll be finding that you're purging yourself of disempowered emotions. You're going to confront limiting beliefs. You're going to find them and confront them. You're going to deal with fear and anxiety, and you're going to manage your ego. Now, because you cannot only do shadow work and like thrive, okay? We don't want to be one-sided. We're going to also be doing a little bit of light work. So light work is where we take all this new kind of awakened energy that comes by doing your shadow work, okay? We're going to take that energy and we're going to channel it into affirmative actions and behaviors in the three-dimensional world. So for example, not only do we have to identify the negative limiting beliefs that are holding us back from our magnificence, okay, that's shadow work. We have to change that belief. We have to then integrate the new belief into our being, and then we need to make big, badass decisions from that place. And then, of course, we have to take badass steps toward our goals and our desires. So that's what light work is. It's all the stuff that comes after you heal your shadow, then what comes next, okay? So Healing the Healer is going to be a really fun class, not just because I'm going to be giving you powerful tools to help you learn your shadow work and help you transform unworthiness, but I've invited 3 awesome teachers to share their insights about the shadow of unworthiness. So the 4 of us have come up with well, we're all very different. We are all very, very different. We have unique styles and approaches to this kind of work. So you are going to be touched by us on so many different levels, okay? And you're going to be lovingly guided to improving your life from the inside out by these teachers, all right? So, lastly, in addition to this awesome curriculum that I've put together for us, we have Sunday group meetings at 7 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Zoom. If you enroll, you'll get that information. And don't worry, if you cannot attend the live sessions, you can watch the replay, right? You're not under any obligation to attend the live sessions. They're there as supplemental stuff. We do coaching, we talk, we have like, you know, I give you challenging ideas, and then y'all talk about it. That's how it usually goes, right? So go ahead and check out the program and sign up for free, and I really look forward to seeing you. And I think I really, I want to encourage you to take your mental and emotional health and mental balance very seriously. You deserve to have the very best that this life can offer. And I feel like doing things like shadow work on a regular basis, and especially learning how to do it with a professional, I think that can make a really big difference in your life. So I'm encouraging you to come and join me. All right? All right, it's Crystalline signing off. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel here, and again, hit that little bell so you get notifications when I'm making videos, all right? And I would love it if you would go to my blog and read my articles there, and maybe even sign up to get my blog delivered to your inbox. That's a secret. That's why I'm doing this. I don't know why I sometimes do that. Confidentially, it's just silliness. That's the kind of stuff Bugs Bunny used to do. My being is partially informed by Bugs Bunny. Confidentially, Doc, like every time I see a doctor, hey, what's up, Doc? Like I've got a carrot in my hand. What's up, Doc? Can't help it. Juvenile. All right. Crystalline here, signing off. Bye for now.